Okay,
Ready?
we're up and running.
Okay, we're going to call the meeting to order, please. Give them notice.
Adequate notice of this meeting is given in accordance with the Open Public Meeting Act by mailing the schedule of the Township Committee to the Express Times and North Star local newspaper, posting a copy on the Township bulletin board, and filing a copy with the Township clerk.
Roll call.
Kenyak?
Here.
Dean?
Here.
Spencer?
Yeah.
Marqueta?
Here.
Parsons?
Here. Please rise for the flag salute.
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Purpose of the meeting tonight is for two adoptions of and public hearing of bond ordinances. The first bond ordinance and public hearing is for bond ordinance 2017-04. It's an ordinance providing an appropriation of $1,349,000 for acquisition of various capital improvements by the Township of Greenwich and the County of Warren, New Jersey, and authorizing issuance of $1,281,550 in bonds or notes of the Township for financing part of the appropriation. So I guess what, we make a motion?
I'll make that motion for public comment.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Public? Yep, 3 minutes. Yeah, okay.
Good evening, Mayor, Governing Board, Mayor Toast, 306, 173. I've read this list, and I just have a question with respect to the period of usefulness. Is this an estimate? Is this an actual number? What are these numbers representing?
Well, basically, the numbers are representing things that we may purchase, and we have...
Kim, is this a back and forth, or is this public comment?
It's a public hearing, so I don't...
Okay.
Yeah, it's not... Yeah. It's a list of things that were requested by some of the departments, and we've been going through them, and we determined that these are probably the most needed, but it doesn't necessarily mean we're going to purchase every single item on this list.
But I think to her question, the usefulness, the life usefulness, and Kathleen, you can,
Okay.
if I'm wrong here, I think that's determined by the bond council.
Correct, yes.
That's
Yes.
stuff that's
Qualified to be able to remember.
out of our control.
So, my question is this a set term of years, or is this just an estimate? Could it be less, could it be more? I think somebody should be able to...
Well, the bond is going to probably be for, how many years did he make this one, Kathleen? This one? This bond is paid off over 10 years, I believe.
Yes.
So what he did was, the best I can explain it, I'm not the bond counsel, and I think we really pushed him to this. We were forced to purchase some vehicles for the police department and such, because no one's made any purchases over the last several years, so the fleet is really in bad shape. So I really don't like bonding to buy police vehicles, but we don't have the money to pay for 3 police vehicles in 1 year. And I don't want to pay for 3 police vehicles over 10 years. So the payments, when they're made each year, at the end of like 5 years, the police vehicles will be paid off.
I don't have a problem with the police vehicles.
Well, I'm just using them as an example, because that's the department I work with the closest, and I know the most about. But let's take the dump truck. The dump truck is about $80,000. At the end of 5 years, that'd be paid off. We don't want to pay for a mason dump for 10 years.
Right.
So everything is already figured in here so that it'd be reduced by that amount each year. So the payment each year will be divided similarly to make those payments for those items.
And then there was a cost, and I'm questioning this $125,000. That is what it's going to cost to bond all of this? Is that a percentage of the total amount?
Well, you have to put up 5% in order to bond that amount. The cost is estimated by the department heads, like say for the mason dump again, $80,000. It may be less than that.
No, I think she's talking about Section 20 cost.
Oh,
$125,000. Again, that's set by bond council, and that's probably the higher limits. That's to go out and do our ratings, and there's a whole host of fees.
So my question is, the amount here is ambivalent to me, and I just want an explanation. Is the $125,000 the cost of itself and what it's going to cost us to put it out over this year.
No, I believe that's the cost to go out and get the bond.
That's what I'm.
Yeah, just go out and have the attorney do the work, you know,
Fine.
and then,
Filing fees.
I just thought it should be explained a little bit more. I was trying to figure out that number.
Okay. Good?
This issue, yes.
Okay. Anyone else? Motion to close?
make it,
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Second, public hearing and adoption of the ordinance. Oh, we have no say. Okay.
I'll make a motion to adopt bond ordinance 2017-04 in the amount of, what's listed.
I second that. Discussion, questions, comments?
The usefulness of a vehicle, for instance, command vehicle, it says 5 years here, but Joe, I'm sure you're gonna get a lot more years having that than 5 years. Your command vehicle now is 13 years, right?
But we told bond counsel we wanted to pay for vehicles.
Oh, yeah.
5 years. We don't
Yeah,
want to-
but I mean, to Lydia's point, period of usefulness seems like it's no more. Like it's, we gotta go get another, so, I just want that.
Just one other important note on this. This was all based on the capital projects plan
Right,
that Mr. Mooney had presented to us.
right. And I believe, even though we're bonding for this, still doesn't mean that we're gonna get 100% of these items.
Exactly,
I said that already.
yes. The whole, the point of the,
I just got this. I was answering. Okay.
I think you actually said this too, right? The point of the bond was that we're not gonna pay for everything in 1 year.
Right.
We're gonna incrementally, make the purchase.
And also, we're playing catch-up because people touted that they did no tax increase for several years, and well, now we're buying things that, here's where you're not in a tax increase when. We're paying for things from 5 years ago, 7 years ago. Okay, roll call.
Kenya?
Yes.
Dean?
Yes.
Spencer?
Yes.
Marqueta?
Yes.
Varsity?
Yes. Okay. Second, public hearing and adoption for bond ordinance 2017-05. Bond ordinance providing an appropriation of $970,000 for open space purposes, the establishment of Thomas Stewart Park in and by the Township of Greenwich in the County of Warren, New Jersey, and authorizing issuance of $921,500 bonds of notes of the Township for finance part of the appropriation. Need a
I'll
motion?
make that motion to go into public hearing.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone wishing to speak, please come up. Lydia, for the record, will you please state your name and address this time? I don't think we did it last time. Oh, did you? Okay. We know where you are, but...
Should I repeat it again?
No, I didn't know you did the first time, so you're fine.
Yes. Okay, so I looked at this ordinance, and I want to direct your attention to section 3. Some of the language in there.
Okay, go ahead.
My question is, my understanding is that this park, Thomas Stewart Park, was put out to the public some years ago, as a referendum and it failed. And my question is to the language that's in section 3, whereby it says, and I will, should I elaborate? Should I let the document speak for itself? Perhaps I should read it. The improvements hereby authorized and the purposes for which obligations are to be issued are set by the heirs of open space referendum. Approved by the voters of the township as ordinances of the township, and in particular, is the establishment of Thomas Stewart Park located on Greenwich Street, including construction and/or installation of jogging, walking paths, recreation fields, concession stands, playground equipment, including mobile worker materials necessary therefore or incidental, shown and on the appropriate plan specifications that are on file and will also be announced first. The estimated maximum amount of funds and those to be issued for the purpose of financing the total portion of the cost of the improvement is $928,500. The estimated cost of the improvement is $170,000, which amounts represents the initial appropriation made by the township. So my question is, well, since this park failed the referendum some years ago, and the language here is very specific as to the voters approving a specific purpose for open space money to be used, for this Thomas Stewart Park, I think it is misleading. I think it is not an accurate wording.
Well, the wording's doesn't mean just for Thomas Stewart Park either, though. There were referendums to establish the open space fund. That's what some of that covers. You're understanding that part,
I
right?
see that there is some wording about open space here, but
Mhm.
there is a specific description of the park in there, which the voters did not vote for. In fact, if anything, it is quite the opposite.
Do you remember the referendum?
The referendum was...
2006. Yeah, it's a long time ago.
The referendum was for, what was it?
2.2.
$2.2 million.
To be bonded?
To be bonded.
All right, so that's his total, yeah.
To be bonded for the total park for $2.2 million. That was a non-binding referendum, and it defeated. What is stated here, because I worked with the bond council on this ordinance, what is stated here is the purpose of establishing an open space tax. And the open space tax is for agricultural, it is for preservation of farmland, and it is for historic and recreational purposes.
My point, though,
So that's what it says here. When it says that it was approved by the voters, that what's approved is the open,
Is the open
we're
space tax.
utilizing the open space tax money, and this was approved to have open space tax money taken.
well, with all due respect, I disagree with respect to the specifics of that money being used for a referendum that clearly failed by the public several years ago. It's this board then who took it upon themselves to take the open space tax.
So you're disagreeing with the language, right?
Yes, I
Okay, so it's noted.
I do.
So you want to go on to your next item then?
Well, but I want to make it clear that I think that this is very, very misleading. I don't think
I understand.
that this is something, you have put this out on paper, black and white, saying that the public actually voted for this specific.
I don't read it that way, but that's the way you're reading, and that's fine, so.
I don't
You have
know.
another item you want to move on to?
I disagree with the way.
I disagree with you the way you're reading, and you disagree with me.
Well, the
That's what we're all about.
The intent is that our park is being used by money for open space that the public has not agreed to.
Well, yes, they did for that, because the original referendum for the tax and the purpose for the spending of the tax was for that purpose.
So, Mayor, we...
So here's where we're disagreeing.
We respectfully...
So you're on record opposing it, and it's here,
There's
so
one
you...
word in this ordinance that establishes this, with working with him. Are to be issued are set by various open space referendums. The word various. We had a referendum question of, shall the township set aside 1 cent for open space? And then it went to 2 cents. Another referendum. There were 4 referendums given out to the voters of increasing the open space tax by a penny.
Okay.
So those are the various open space referendums.
Well, just for clarification,
Right.
for purposes of my disagreement...
Make a note of it, and just mention it to the bond council when we agree tomorrow, and see if they agree. I mean, that's all we could do, okay?
And the other issues that I wanted to raise is there's been a lot of talk, and you know that I'm running for office, and you can have brought it out, I've never used this as an office for that purpose, and here today is for your folks. Okay? This park is not free. And there's all of this nonsensical discussion going around from the voters that I've talked to that are telling me, no, we're being told it's free. It's not free. And I'd like...
Well, that's just hearsay, and I'm not going to entertain that,
Well,
so.
I'm asking you,
Okay, got it.
isn't it true that the park is not free because it's coming out of our open space tax money, and we did, and we are paying for that?
I
Yes, we
think,
will be
well-
paying for it. We pay open space tax, and we will be paying for the bonds through the open space tax. But I'm not going to sit here and entertain that you say that you heard, because I've heard a lot of people just raving over this park. So, we can argue that all night, too.
I'm laser focused, if you haven't noticed, and I'm sure you have already, that each and every time I come to this pulpit, I'm talking about the budget. I'm talking about expenses. I'm talking about taxes for myself, for all of you.
Oh, that's certainly none of us want to pay taxes either.
Here. So I'm here, you're gonna hear it, hopefully, for a very...
I don't mind you saying it, but when you start saying people, I can sit here and say, well, people rave to me about this park. I go to the shopping or whatever, so that's all you're saying, so.
You rave about it until you find out that it's not free.
Can I respond to that?
I've never heard anybody say it was free, so
No.
I'm not going to sit and argue. But we're done with that discussion.
Can I respond?
I'm done with that discussion.
Can I respond?
Mr. Marqueta has said it's free.
No, I never said it's free.
Mr. Marqueta has
No, I
said
never said it's free. Show me where I said it's free. Where? Never. I said, I know what I said, I'll quote it. I said it will not raise taxes. I think that's what you're conflating, the two things.
I'm not.
Yes, because you had an article in the paper saying it's going to raise taxes. I think that's false. I think that's misleading. Yes, you did. No, you said it was going to raise taxes. You said regardless of what the town committee says, it was going to raise taxes. Let me finish, and I'll let you talk. It's not free. Nobody ever said it was free. Not one person said it was free. Obviously, it's not free. The money's got to come from somewhere. Well, we said, and I still hold to this, that it has a dedicated funding source, and it will not raise taxes. And I stand by that statement. So go ahead, you can make your comment.
Well, Mr. Marqueta, let me correct you. I don't know what information you're getting about what I said.
The Greenwich Gazette, didn't you have anything?
Well, go back and read it.
You didn't say that it would raise taxes regardless of what the town committee says?
No.
Or was it not in the Express Times, maybe?
No.
We doing a campaign speech here?
Yeah, let's move on with your next one, 'cause I don't want to hear the hearsay anymore.
Corrected that Mr. Marqueta is incorrect as to what I had...
So noted, let's move on.
Okay, maybe at the next meeting I'll have to bring it.
I think you should, and next time bring it here when we speak about it. Okay, now, with respect to the park, again, I'm under the impression that the maintenance of this park also is included in the open space tax, or is that something extra? Meaning the mowing and the seeding, and this park is going to be a lacrosse and soccer field, correct? Am I
Yeah,
correct?
yeah.
So it's a limited use park.
No, for those two sports, but
Those
it's
two sports, okay.
no baseball fields.
No baseball, I understand.
And that's all been thoroughly discussed. The reason there's no baseball fields is baseball's on decline, lacrosse is on thing. So this goes back a long time, not in the last 6 months you've been coming to meetings. So.
I like the response. So I do have your ad right here. I have a picture of it, and I'm going to quote it just for the record, okay? Since you say you didn't say it. There was no plan to buy a park which will now raise our taxes despite what the current board says. That's your quote.
Won't it raise our taxes?
Oh, so now you're saying it will.
Won't it raise our...
You just said a minute ago you didn't say that.
Isn't the park...
Okay, so you're admitting you did say that.
Funding the park, right?
You're admitting you said that.
Well, the way you said it... was-
I'm reading your quote.
Well, now you're reading it
Yes?
correctly. You said it incorrectly.
I said you
Okay, let's
said it would
move on.
raise taxes
Let's move on.
regardless of what the town committee says, right? You said that, and I'm reading it.
Mr. Marqueta, we're bonding something, correct? Bonding the park.
And it's being paid for out of the open space fund.
Raising our taxes.
No, we're not. We're not. That's more misinformation. That's more misinformation.
Lydia, it's just like the comment you made that we were underinsured in your newspaper article. And we'll save that, there you are,
Hold on. This meeting is for this bond ordinance here. Let's move on. I'm putting you too, because you have your attention adrift as well, so let's go.
If she doesn't have any more questions, I make a motion to close.
Now, I'm gonna let her go on, what else do you wanna go on to?
We're waiting to hear something new other than you saying you're gonna raise taxes, we're gonna raise taxes here.
We are raising taxes next year. You said it yourself, 2018.
No one said 2018.
Okay.
2018, there will be a raising taxes.
Who said that?
Wait, are we getting
First of all, that's off topic, but that's a false statement. I never said that there's gonna be a raise in 2018.
Next year, there will be a raise in taxes, 2018.
We didn't even start the budget for
No, how do
2018.
you know?
No, who said that?
There won't be.
You don't know?
I don't know until we do the budget for next year. You know what? Yeah, let's go. One more question and you're done.
It's not a question.
Okay,
I
statement.
can't ask questions.
Yeah, well, we're
having a hearing, we're
interacting
back and
with
forth
you.
discussion, this is one.
Come on, one more and then we're gonna
That you
close
have.
it. Oh, God. One more, then we're gonna close it.
So, as far as I'm concerned, or what people should be concerned about, suggested then of going back to the section 3 and the language on with respect to the open.
So that's already been noted. Let's move on to the next one.
And the fact that I'd like to know today what outside of this park and what the land encompasses is not going to be covered by open space. Is not going to be covered by open space tax that we're paying for. What else besides what you've discussed here in the various meetings will not be covered by the open space tax?
You mean with this park, or what are you
Yes,
talking?
the park.
I don't understand what, I don't understand the question.
What's the question?
Okay, the maintenance, is it being paid out of open space, or is it?
Or you really
Yes.
gonna?
I don't think I understand what you,
Okay.
Anything with the park, it gets paid out of the open space.
yes,
Everything.
yes.
Everything.
The workers that will be hired.
No one's hiring workers, and I corrected you that when we spoke one day. And I told you that night, I'm gonna tell you again. I don't know, see, this is what the problem is when you listen, when people say they. I've been in public service for 40 years, I still never met they.
Okay.
So they means nothing to me when you say, no, I'm not done yet. I gave you your piece. Now, to make a statement you're hiring people is false. I corrected you about that last night, so I should say correct. You and I discussed it last time, out in the parking lot. And I said, no, we're not hiring anyone. You go, oh, a lot of people believe we are. Now, you're going to see here tonight on the cameras. I mean, I know what your deal is. You're trying to get it on so if people read it, you're trying to get your points on. I follow you, but there is no one being hired to take care of the park. There's no extra employees being hired to take care of the park. That's the answer.
There's going to be a mowing expense, correct?
Yes, it's already covered and everything. It won't come out of anything but the open space.
Is there a bid yet for that?
No, not yet, because it's not ready to be mowed.
It's under the bid threshold.
It's under the
Yeah.
threshold.
We only have a couple of mowings this year,
There will
and
be a bid for that, correct?
next year, yes.
Okay.
And the bid will be paid for out of open space monies.
It'll be paid for by open space?
Yes.
We don't know how much it is yet.
We have ideas. See, this is all discussed before you started coming to meetings. So you're trying to catch up in 5 or 7 meetings. We've been having meetings on this for a year. We've had one night, a 3-hour presentation, PowerPoint, everything, explain how the money's going to be brought in, what the cost of the park's going to be to construct, what it's going to be to maintain for the next 10, 20 years. This is all water over the dam. So when you come in and start asking these questions, which is fine, you're entitled to them, you're a taxpayer, but it starts to be a little bit labor intensive when we can't bring everybody who comes in every meeting up to speed for what they've missed.
First of all, as you know, I wasn't here last year listening to all of this, but you've just confirmed to me that all of this has been going on without the taxpayers' approval with respect to the specifics of this park.
We don't need taxpayers to people elect us to make decisions. Now, someone who wants to run for office who feels they have to run to the taxpayers all the time for a referendum, I don't know why you need a governing body. Why don't we just put things up to vote every year? See, you need to have some guts, you need to make some decisions. So if you want to lay back and just criticize people for making decisions, that's easy to do from the pulpit there. But I'm just saying, you just don't let anybody finish, do you?
Because I'm trying to
Okay,
relay...
I make a motion, public session is closed.
Second.
I have one more
Second, now it's
Done.
done. Closed.
The police cars.
It's not in part of this order, bond.
Well,
I don't want, Thursday night's another meeting, come down there.
okay.
Talk to the chief if you want to be chief. That's why we pay him.
I did talk...
There's a motion come on first. Oh, we got to discuss it.
To close it, you have,
Yes.
Bob made the motion, you seconded to close
All
it.
in favor? Aye.
Okay, now it's a motion to adopt.
I make the motion to adopt.
You made the motion.
Motion, amendment, comments, questions?
Make sure Mr. Finelli has his pencil really sharpened.
Okay, ready for roll call?
Well, I just would like to say that this bond is going to be paid off over 15 years. And I think it's an appropriate way to fund this, because the park is going to have a lifespan of probably 100 and some years. It's unfair to people who have lived here for 20, 30, 40, 50 years, 36 years like myself, to be forced to put up all this money in 1 year to do a park. And this will spread it out evenly between people who are here, people who continue to live here, and people who eventually move here. I think it's a very fair way to fund it. I think everyone pays their fair share, and I think it's very easy for people, if they're going to move into the township and say, oh, you shouldn't have the park, well, at any phase of their life, everybody has different wants and needs. If you're moving in here when you're older, no kids, you probably don't want a park, but you might want a better ambulance, because my age, I might need an ambulance before I need a park, who knows? But I think the point is that you have a cross, section of people who have different needs at different times of their lives. I have neighbors who are elderly, senior citizens, fixed incomes. They certainly don't want to pay for this park, because odds are they're not going to use it. Even though it is being constructed for their use. It's going to have walking paths, it's going to be things that the older people can do. This park is going to cover people from toddlers to 100. You're going to be able to walk, you're going to be able to, it's going to have an excellent playground, it's going to have the fields, a pavilion. I just think it's a fair way to pay for it. I don't think it's an exorbitant amount of money, $900,000 over the course of 15 years. For what you're going to get out of this, I think it's a pretty good deal, it's a pretty good buy, and that's my comments on it for what it's worth.
Plus, it's something you can build on, too, with...
Right, this is only the first phase, and we'll see what the needs are in the future.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
We'll be dead and gone
basketball court.
anyway.
Okay, roll call.
Roll call. Kenya?
Yes.
Dean?
Yes.
Spencer? Yes. Marqueta?
Yes.
Marson?
Yes. We have a public comment at the end, too.
Yes. You have separate.
Public comment. Only on the agenda items, so don't forget the police cars, I shut you down. Okay, I make a motion.
I'll make a motion.
I make a motion to open the public comment. You second it?
I made
All in favor?
Aye.
Go ahead, Lydia.
Be nice, guys.
I'm being nice,
3
but
minutes, come on, it's already...
we're having a meeting Thursday night for those items.
Isn't it rude?
I did read and did hear something very, very serious, and that is the new police cars, the very new police cars that you had all ordered.
I heard it too, I've seen it, and I'm sure the chief's aware of it, he will be, and
Finish for the record. I would like to say that I'm at least happy that those cars, speaking to the chief, have not yet been fitted specifically for the needs of the police officers that need them. So,
Yeah.
I hope that this is remedied quickly. I think it's a very serious issue, carbon monoxide poisoning, for anyone, for that matter. But we certainly don't want to buy cars and then have them recalled and have expensive or whatnot to have the cars fitted for the new safety measures we put in.
That's...
Okay.
Now, wait, one more thing. I promise. Did you notice that there's a sign on your property or the town hall?
I probably walked right by, I didn't even notice it.
That
The county, the Warren
County
County
Fair.
Forest Fair.
Oh,
Yeah, go talk to the...
that's probably on the Warren County right away, so I don't know if we can make them take it off.
it's a very nice sign. I think it's very lovely. Just wanted to let you, bring it to your attention if there was one there.
County right away, 10 feet off the road.
Yeah, I don't know, but where have, so think to the attorney about that. because
Well, my
we've had so many complaints lately about signs out front, so that we're gonna get that looked
I thought
into.
there was going to be the Lydia Coast sign ordinance thing.
No. Don't flatter yourself that we were named after you.
I think that...
Motion to close public
I'll make
comment. Second, anybody? All in favor? Aye. Let me make one comment about the police vehicles. Thank you for bringing it to our attention, Lydia, but we do have a police chief here, and he is a member of the State Chiefs Association and other organizations. I've been in law enforcement for 40 years. They know about that long before we know, as a governing body or as a citizen. I've never heard any dangers from the citizens coming up, and we do appreciate you bringing that to our attention. And we have full confidence in our chief that he would know that. Safety never takes a holiday.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Yep, I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye. Rich, you doing that tonight?